Hi guys, it's Ro and I'm really annoyed because yesterday I filmed the first half of this video but somehow the footage was lost, so I'm doing it again today, so sorry if the setup looks a bit different. So basically I'm going to be talking about the books I've read in the month of July, and to be honest I only read 4 books, which I know isn't great but I sort of have an excuse. So basically at the start of this month I had no other books on my shelves that I still needed to read because I've read them all already. So I had to go and buy some new ones, and I ordered some online and they took forever to get here. And they only arrived last week, and I still had another book that was coming that only arrived a few days ago. I didn't get a chance to read that much, which is really annoying because I was on holidays and I could have been reading so many books, but I couldn't because I didn't have any. So these are all of the books that I've read in July. I've got Days of Blood and Starlight, Rogue, Talon, and The Heart of Betrayal, which I was so excited to read. It was one of my most anticipated books of this year, and it did not let me down. The first book I read right at the start of this month is Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. This is the sequel to the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series, and I absolutely adore this series. The third book I've got on my shelf right now, so I will be reading it this month. And I really enjoyed it, although I think I liked the first book in the series better. This was slightly depressing, but I still gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I will be reading the third book in the series this month. If you haven't read Daughter of Smoke and Bone, I really recommend it. The characters are so funny. One of my favourite characters in this series is Susanna. She is definitely up there in being one of my favourite minor characters ever. The book opens with Susanna and I was already cracking up because she's so hilarious. I've never really read anything like this before. The only thing I can really compare the book to is the Penryn and the End of Days series. They both have angels in it, and I think that's the only reason why I've compared it to Penryn. I'd been wanting to read this book for a while because I read the first book all the way back at the start of the year, and I'm not really sure why I didn't carry on with the series. I think I found another book that I really wanted to read then, but I was so happy to dive back into the world again. I was sort of a bit confused at the start because I sort of forgot what happened, but then it all clicked after that. World building in this series is brilliant, and the world Laini has created is nothing I've ever seen or read of before. And the quote on the front of this book says, "We'll have you tearing at your hair and gnashing at your teeth, be prepared," which is basically what I was doing for the whole of this book. There was so much tension and action, and there was a lot of secrecy as well. I'm really excited to see what happens in the next book. Overall, I really enjoyed Days of Blood and Starlight, even though it was really dark, and I will be reading the third book this month. My camera just did something really weird, so I'm gonna have to film some of the footage again, which is so annoying, but yeah, I'll get back into it now. So 2 other books I've read this month are Rogue and Talon by Julie Kagawa. I've read some of Julie's books before. I've read 3 of her books in the Iron Face series, which is such a good series, and I really need to finish it because I love the characters in those books. I can say the exact same for these 2. The characters were so different, and I feel like they all brought something different to the book. I'm not really sure which one I liked better, but I actually really enjoyed Rogue. I did a book talk on Talon this month, so I'll link that down below if you want to have a look at it. I will be posting one of Rogue soon. And I wrote heaps of notes on this one right after I finished it because I was so excited for the next one. This new series is about dragons. I think there are heaps more books to come in this series, which I'm really pumped about, but I'm also quite nervous because I'm not sure what's going to happen and where this plot is going to go. I'm not sure when the next book, Soldier, is coming out. I think it's next year. I love these covers, they feel really nice and they're so shiny as well. But yeah, if you guys want to know what that series is about, you can look at my Talon book review. I did a bit of a non-spoiler section before I jumped into talking about the rest of Talon. If you're interested in dragons and really fun series, then go and check it out. I gave them 4 out of 5 stars, I think. However, if you've read the Iron Fae, these books are very different to that series. So if you love Julie's writing, pick this up and yeah, tell me about it. Rogue had heaps of action in it, and the plot was always moving and the characters were always moving, and I didn't know how they could stay awake through this book because I would have been exhausted. But yeah, I really enjoyed this series and I can't wait to pick up the next book. And the last book I read this month, I'm so excited to talk about this one because I enjoyed it so much, and it was one of my most anticipated books of this year, but it is the sequel to The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson, and The Heart of Betrayal was so good. In the first book, I actually had to flick a couple of pages back to see if what I was reading was actually true. I had to go back because I totally missed that plot twist and it freaked me out, and it was so amazing. This has only just come out and the cover is gorgeous. I read this in like 2 days because I was like, I have to finish another book this month, otherwise I've only read 3 books. The Heart of Betrayal did not disappoint. We met heaps of new characters in this book and they were so mysterious and intriguing, and you just really wanted to know what was going to happen next, and that's one reason why I couldn't put down this book. I was reading it pretty late into the night and I'm so glad I read this, but it's going to be torture waiting for the next book. And I think it's going to be the final one in the series. For people who haven't read this series yet, I highly recommend it. I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It's a fantasy book. Read The Kiss of Deception if you haven't read it. I'm going to have to wait like a whole year for the next one to come out, which is going to be horrible. I'm so glad that I read this. It was so good. The ending, guys, you need to read it because I need to talk to someone about it. The ending was crazy. My heart was racing. Go and read The Remnant Chronicles. They are amazing. These are all the books that I read this month. I enjoyed all of them. None of them disappointed me. I read a lot of sequels this month. I think my favourite book that I read this month was The Heart of Betrayal because, wow, I can't get over it. And if you've read it, can you please comment down below. No spoilers for the other people who haven't read The Kiss of Deception yet. But yeah, that was my July wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will be uploading another book review very soon. Bye!